Good morning YouTube. Today you join me on a video from inside the kitchen due to the COVID-19. Obviously I haven't been going out and doing much filming unfortunately, but in this video today I'll be giving you the plans on my new garage build. So for those that have followed the channel, I love my tinkering, I love my play space. So today we'll talk about Mark III. Hope you enjoy. So I have to apologise for the hair guys, it's getting a little bit long. As you can probably imagine, all the barber shops are shut everywhere, beard's growing wild, so I've been trying to keep it tame to look a little presentable for today's video. Fortunately, it's starting to put a bit of weight back on. COVID-19 has let the alcohol run wild in the house, so it has been a testing time for all of us, I'm sure. But hopefully, like I say, this video will give you a bit of an insight into what I plan to build over the next couple of months. So obviously I started blogging the Ducati 748 rebuild video, and I made the decision a few months back that I was going to go ahead and build a bigger garage, and that meant stopping projects like that for the time being, because any of you that have done a full raw restoration rebuild will understand that bits just end up absolutely everywhere. So what, do you know what? The clever thing is put it back together, get the new garage built and build everything properly. So I made the decision to put that on hold for the time being for this reason, that we are going to build something pretty cool, hopefully down the bottom of the garden. So I'll give you a bit of a history on my garages and the things that have happened over the last couple of years. So I lived at home like many until I was up to my late 20s. Parents had a double garage. Unfortunately, they turned it into like a games room entertainment area, which meant nowhere for the toys, which was probably a good thing, because if they hadn't have done that, I think I'd have lived at home forever, because I'd have had a double garage at my disposal. I was in like the annex above that, so I just would have never needed to move out. But thankfully, I guess they did that, gave me the push. And when they converted that to a games room, it then left me with a bike that had no garage. So my good friend Matt kindly said, look, keep it at mine. I've got my bike here. So I used to drive over there on a Sunday morning in all the levers, the Power Ranger suit, get kitted up and obviously go for a blast, which was great. It kept the bike dry, secure, but it wasn't the ideal situation. Forward on a few years later, and I ended up finally taking the plunge in buying my first house. Now, it wasn't easy doing it on my own. I couldn't live in London anymore. I had to move out to North Swindon. For those that know me will understand the reasons behind that, but it was brilliant. I turned it into a little man cave. I had an absolute awesome time there. Great little garage that I got to exactly where I wanted it to be. But like all things, you outgrow your space too quickly. So while that was amazing, I knew long term I was going to need a bigger area. Again, those that know me will obviously repeat this, and I've been reminded of it. I swore blind I was never going to settle down. I was going to be my own man for years, enjoying tinkering in the garage. And then I met my now partner, Danny, who I proposed to last year. And we've moved in together. So we've got a good sized place, which is great. The garage that we've got, I managed to sort out, as you can see from the videos. It was completely abandoned in there. It was very dull, had no real lighting. The electrics were pretty bad. So made the decision that, you know what, I'll get it suitable so that I can keep the bikes in there. As things evolved, started bringing the cars over. And that's for those that have seen the blogging on the driveway. I've just run out of space on the driveway. I've just got too many cars. And the thing is, I've become really attached to stuff. So especially when I start modifying it, I can't bear to get rid of it. So we've got the driveway sorted. The house, again, is one of those things, it's a project in itself that's been evolving. And the garage, like I say, has come a long way. But unfortunately, with it being an asbestos roof, it's not particularly warm in there. It doesn't make you want to work in there, but it's done me well for the last couple of years, you know, to keep me tinkering away with a roof over my head. But long term, I know I need a big man cave. So as mentioned, obviously this garage has done the job. I've done my best in tightening it up, making it look suitable, but I knew long term we were going to have to clear the garden. And as it stands currently, I'm not sure what my limitations are going to be to the build. I'm going to apply for planning permission, and hopefully the neighbours are on my side, because I can understand it. Not everyone wants a big garage in front of their house, because we do back on to another garden. So fingers crossed that'll go okay. With the COVID-19 at the moment, I'm not sure how quickly the council are going to respond to planning applications. But essentially, it's got to be able to hold at least 4 cars. So it's going to be big. Now, I don't want a wood one because I want something pretty solid, and then obviously you can go with red brick exterior. Then my good friend Matt said about double skinning it, maybe doing breeze block in the side to make it obviously nicer and warmer inside. So yeah, I'm a bit lost at the moment on where I'm going to go with it. I know the size I need, I know the location I've got, which is the main thing, because land around London is just ridiculously expensive. So I'm fortunate enough to have the space. So if you guys have got any input or know any builders or contractors around the Heathrow way that specialise in garage build, bang a note in the comment. I'd really appreciate that, because it definitely helped get things moving. And even if you know, I guess I'm going to need an architect as well to advise me of what my limitations are. So I don't expect to be able to go very high, obviously 2.5 metres, hopefully a pitched roof, don't really want a flat roof garage. And nice brick build, so it's sturdy, so I can do stuff in there, have a nice workshop area, a nice area for the bikes, a good area to carry on doing the blogging, the automotive reviews and stuff. So hopefully it'll be pretty exciting stuff. And I myself, I love reading garage builds. I thought, do you know what? I'll put this video together. Hopefully I'll get some constructive criticism from you guys on where to go about getting the planning permission, who to use, the designs to use, any links to anything on the internet. Because as it stands currently, I am looking around and I'm looking serious at getting it done. But obviously before we even got to that stage, I had to clear the garden. Now, unfortunately, the bottom of the garden became sort of, I want to say, a dumping ground for while the housework was going on, and it just kept piling up, piling up. Then the fence got replaced because that all blew down. So then we had to chop all the bushes down, all the small trees ended up down there. And it got to a bit where it was like, shut the little blue gate and just forget about the bottom. And people were coming around being like, oh, it's a nice sized garden. You said, no, 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 it goes all the way down the back. But unfortunately, I've turned it into a bit of a dump. So we got the first skip. Obviously, that was always going to be testing on the driveway with the space of the cars. But thankfully, it wasn't an issue. Managed to get a good chunk of it cleared, to be honest with you. I'd got to sort of the limit of my barbecue bonfire smoke exposure, I think, with the neighbours. So I didn't want to piss anyone else off. So I thought, you know what, we'll just get a skip. And it's got to be at least another skip, maybe 2 skips before we actually get this cleared properly, ready to look at the space we're working with. Now, from what I roughly worked out last year, it was about 7.5 metres wide. And I had about 20 metres to play with in length down there before it really started taking away the garden, because we still wanted a green area. And I think we're really fortunate with that it's going to be pretty awesome once I've finished it, because I'll have a patio area down there, I can have a barbecue, maybe even a fire pit, turn it into a proper cool little social hub area. But it's easy to say these things and never deliver on it. But hopefully, as you guys have seen from the build, obviously, I've committed to most of the projects I've said I'm going to get underway. So the biggest issue that stands in my way at the moment is the access. Now I'm lucky I've got side access down the house. I can get the Clio down there, but the M3s, it gets a little bit tight currently. So I've got a big concrete step that was where a door used to be that I've got to try and pull apart. I think I'm going to have a go at that this weekend. We've got to remount the tap, but we've got like soil pipe that is going to be there permanently. I can't change the location of that. But I think the 46 will squeeze down there from my rough measurements that I've made. You just won't be opening the doors to get out of it. But providing I know that works okay, obviously that allows us to go forward with building something suitable for the cars. So worst case scenario from this build, if I can't work out how to get the cars down the side, especially with the width, it will just be a large garage for the motorbike. So that would end up being a double garage, which wouldn't be the end of the world. It'd be lovely to have a good place where I can tinker with tools, keep the mountain bikes, keep the road bikes and everything like that, which would be cool. But it would be great if I can turn it into just like a proper, just OCD paradise to be able to tinker with everything. And I've looked at just getting a little scissor lift for the car, so you could have that sunk into the ground, which means obviously changing wheels when you're cleaning it, doing anything on the brakes. It's all up at standing height. I'm in my 30s now, so even my back is playing up, crouching around on the floor. So it'd be cool if I can do something like that. I've seen them on eBay for about £2,500 new, but obviously, is it going to be worth that? Is that sort of budget unrealistic that it's going to last 10 minutes, which is obviously not what I want if I'm going to be cutting the floor out and having it properly fitted. And then once we've got obviously the foundations in, got the brickwork in, we'll then go on to the detailing of the inside, which is obviously the most exciting part. So stay tuned, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the sort of intro video to what I'm going to be building over the next couple of months. If you do enjoy the video, give us a like and a subscribe. Thanks for watching. Until next time.